Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope everyone is having a good time, having a good weekend. It's a beautiful spring everywhere. And of course, here in Michigan, if you know where I am, you know that spring is such an exciting time, even for those who love winter, like I do. But today in this video, well, first of all, it's a Mother's Day weekend. Please don't forget to tell your mother that you love her, that she did an amazing job. Even if you could see a lot of areas for improvement, you have to remember that she did the best that she possibly could. I know everyone has a different stories, but out of all people, mothers usually go underappreciated because you're the harshest on your mother. You expect from her to know everything, and you forget that she's also living life for the first time. She didn't have this experience before. She most likely, excuse me, was never taught how to manage high stress, how to do a lot of different things. So be forgiving and remember that she could have chosen not to have you, let alone if the only thing she ever did is give you life. It's a biggest gift. And depending on the circumstance, once again, she could have chosen not to have you. So please do something nice and meaningful for your mother this weekend. Get out of your own head, get out of your ego. It is very difficult for men to understand the female nature, but it's also very difficult for females, for women to understand where men's come from. But despite of all the circumstance, I still think that love is the answer, because when you show loyalty to people, they relax, they let go, they can open up to you. If you hold grudges and pain against your mother, try to find something that you can be grateful for, even if it's just the life that she gave you, she chosen to give you. But for most people, you have a mother that did a lot for you. So please appreciate her. And if she's no longer here, just spend the day thinking how many wonderful things she meant to give you. If you think about that from a perspective of a grown man, you will see how many wonderful things she actually gave you. For the most of us, for the most of us living. Every year, every family has some kind of weird situation or drama or family dynamic. But every year I understand more and more how difficult it must have been for my mother to raise me, to give everything she gave me, to navigate her own pain, to put her on a back burner, to put herself on a back burner. So that's just a little interlude I have to give for this weekend, because once again it's Mother's Day. I think it's a beautiful celebration. Hello, Greg. Welcome. And well, I have this thought on my mind about that most modern women have not ever experienced truly masculine men. Most women who live in this modern day and age, they had never experienced a man who was truly a gentleman, who knew his role, who didn't need directions, who knew how to lead, who knew how to treat a woman. Of course, maybe you are the lucky one that has a good father, a good role model in your life, so you were able to copy that. But most women, wives and mothers included, have never met truly masculine, truly supportive men. Remember that and be the one that will break that curse in life. I think that is truly devastating that our society is so heavily influenced by these confusing ideas where men cannot really fully truly be men, and they would go out of their way to call it the most stupid thing I've ever heard, called toxic masculinity, because masculinity is never toxic. True masculine traits, just like true feminine traits, are never toxic. We were made very, very different for a purpose. We were not meant to be the same. We were not meant um, to completely always understand each other, but we were meant to create life, to create world, to create all these beautiful inventions as masculine and feminine together. We were always meant to complement each other, to be the polar, to be the opposites. Uh, that what creates passion, that's what creates life, that would help us to keep going. The most feminine I've ever felt, the most relaxed and almost absent-minded and girly I've ever felt is when I was and when I am in the presence of a truly masculine man. It's so simple, it's so logical and natural, but yet the modern world is doing everything to take these thoughts, to take these beautiful dynamics out of alignment. The world is trying really, really hard to change it all. And yes, every time maybe you're with a woman and she's a little bit uncomfortable when you take the lead, when you take decisions, when you have plans, don't take it personally when if she's uncomfortable the first times, because she may never had anyone who took decisions, who knew where you're going on a date. For those of you, my dear friends, my dear men who watching me, that one thing alone, when you're picking up a woman for a date and you already have a plan where you're going to take you, that going to put you further than most modern men. I cannot tell you how many girlfriends in my life told me, I was so excited to meet this, I don't know, Jonathan. But when he showed up, he was not very well put together. His car was a disaster. But worst of all, he was asking me where we should go. A man should never ask a woman for directions. The whole point, a woman is capable to make her own life. A woman is capable to achieve almost anything that she wants. But you shouldn't ask a woman for direction, because when you do, that's the moment when you start emasculating your own self. You can't only blame your own self. And I can name and remember countless of friends of mine that were so excited to meet someone, and when he show up, of course, there is no flowers, there is no excitement, there isn't. You have to take a meeting with a woman that you dream about as a special event. There is only one time to make a first impression. And women hearts melt when she meets a man who has a plan. As simple as that. It tells a woman so much, even on subconscious level, that this man is capable, that this man has a vision, this man has an action plan. So just remember that. On the other hand, those women that had never experienced truly masculine men, they can be a little bit shocked, when you don't ask them to contribute to a bill at the restaurant, or when you show up and you nicely put together and your car is nice and respectfully clean, and you know exactly where you're going. A woman, certain women, at first, they might even have tears in their eyes because they've never experienced a man that knew what he was doing. This is actually, this is just a very simple, very primitive example, but I think it's so extremely sad in general that it's a rare thing right now. It's a rare thing. That's what I hear from my friends here in United States, that it's a rare thing when men accept of texting, he picks up the phone. He wants to hear your voice. He wants to feel your mood. He wants to hear if you're okay. He wants to hear maybe that there is something that you need. He doesn't want to go back and forth. He wants to give you his full focus of attention, and he will make his mind based on that. So many women have never experienced a man that just takes the lead and let her relax. So be a little bit be a little bit more forgiving in the beginning, because some women that had to be quote unquote independent, so to speak, some of the women that had to do difficult things by themselves at first, or maybe they've never had an example of a real man and how real men operate, so they might have a little bit of resistance. They might even be shocked for that. Just keep it in your mind, and understand that it's not a sign that you should stop being a leader. It's not a sign that you should change. It's just you just became that rare type of man that she had never met. And that is not a bad thing. That's not a negative example. I think it's pretty beautiful. And eventually, she will get used to that, and she will not believe that she ever taken less. She is not going to believe that she had ever accepted less from a man than decisiveness, than his confidence, than his ability to plan, his ability to think ahead, his appreciation. You know, there is nothing more beautiful than when a man appreciates a woman, because for the beautiful inspiration that she gives, the impact that she has on his life. I've learned it actually not long time ago that um, not that long ago I realized the true impact of a woman on a man's life. And ой, спасибо, Ашот. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just got a nice, very nice compliment from an Armenian gentleman. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, so but I think it's both it works both ways. We were meant to have this polarity, we were meant to do this. We were meant to complement each other. We were meant to give each other these rare gifts, these amazing, unique experiences that now a lot of people use to to make us be uh, jealous of each other or resent each other. So many, there is so much contradiction right now. You know what they call the gender wars, where people just try to profit on the misery, where people just try to profit on the misery of those things that did not work out, and they want that to not only not work out for you, but they also want to profit on that. Remember that the God's idea, the God's vision was for man and woman create a beautiful world together. Not more, not less. It was a beautiful idea and a thought of a harmonious world. And thousands of years later, it's still the same idea, but unfortunately, it is compromised by people who do not want to put their best foot forward. it has been changing. People try to desperately change it because they don't want to put their best foot forward. They don't want to take responsibility, accountability. They want to blame the other person, although this particular other person was their own choice. They could go in a different place, in a different circumstance, and they could find people of value. But they choose not to do so. They choose to look for women with low social responsibility and then blab about them on Instagram and YouTube instead of going for beautiful women that are inside and that are beautiful on the inside and the outside. But I believe that soon enough, people will take a critical look and appreciate that there is no reason to reinvent the wheel. There is no reason why we should not experience each other in the most beautiful and profound way that was meant to be for us to experience. So, with that being said, my dear friends, please be patient. If you are a man watching me and you know how to truly treat a woman, don't feel shame. That's the most amazing thing that you can do for a woman to show your love, respect, and appreciation. And of course, please remember, even if you had a very difficult relationship with your mother, please remember to tell her Happy Mother's Day tomorrow, this weekend. Thank you.